I didn't see Lucas or Celine the next day, but their conversation replayed in my mind on a loop. Tell your boss his new wife is prettier than the last one. The last one. Alina. That name had appeared once before, whispered by the maids, erased from conversation whenever Damon was near. Now I knew she wasn't just a rumor. She was real. And she was dead. But how? And why did every answer seem to circle back to him?
By evening, I couldn't bear the silence anymore. I left my room and went looking for Lucas. The mansion felt endless, its halls stretching like a labyrinth of secrets. I found him near the library, sorting through old documents by the fire. He didn't look surprised to see me. "You shouldn't be here," he said without turning. I heard you," I said quietly. "Last night, with Celine." His hand froze mid-air, gripping the edge of a folder. "You were listening." "I didn't mean to, but now I can't unhear it." He turned slowly, eyes guarded. "Then you know too much." I took a step forward. "Who was Alina?" Silence. Finally, Lucas sighed. "You want the truth, Amira? The truth is dangerous here. So is ignorance," I said, voice shaking. He studied me for a long moment before speaking. "Alina was Damon's first wife." My heart stopped. "First wife?" "Yes," he said quietly. "They were married 3 years ago. She was beautiful, bold, and she thought she could fix him." "And?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "He couldn't." The words sank like stones. "What happened to her?" Lucas looked at the fire instead of me. "One night, she disappeared. No one saw her again. No one asked." I stared at him, searching his face for something human. "And Damon? He buried her in silence," he said. "That's how he mourns, by erasing." The flames flickered between us. For a moment, I saw pity in his eyes. "You should be careful, Amira. Men like him don't break. They make others break for them." That night, I lay awake in bed, unable to breathe properly. Alina's ghost felt alive in every shadow of this house. And yet, part of me, the foolish, broken part, still wanted to believe Damon was different with me. Because I had seen it, the flicker of gentleness, the hesitation before he touched me, the way his voice softened when he said my name. Maybe he was cruel to the world, but kind to me. Maybe I was his second chance. Or maybe I was just next. The next morning, I woke to the sound of footsteps outside my door. When I opened it, Damon was standing there, shirt slightly undone, eyes darker than usual. He looked like he hadn't slept. "Get dressed," he said. "We're going out." "Where?" I asked. He didn't answer, just walked away, expecting me to follow. I obeyed. The car ride was silent. Rain traced silver lines on the windows as the city blurred by. Damon's hands gripped the steering wheel, veins visible under the tension. After a while, I couldn't take it anymore. "You're angry," I said softly. "Always," he replied. "Because of me?" He exhaled sharply. "Not everything is about you, Amira." "Then what is it about?" He didn't answer. The silence was his only language. We drove for another 20 minutes before stopping outside a cemetery, quiet, gray, and hauntingly beautiful. He got out without a word. I followed. He led me to a small, isolated section surrounded by tall trees. There, hidden from the main path, stood a simple marble headstone. Alina Volkov,
1989 to 2022. Gone, not forgotten. I froze. My breath caught in my throat. He'd brought me to her grave. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The rain began again, soft and cold against my skin. Finally, I whispered, "You loved her?" He nodded once. "Yes." "What happened to her?" His jaw clenched. "She broke the rules." I looked at him in disbelief. "That's it? You're saying she died because she disobeyed you?" He said sharply, "She died because she trusted the wrong people. She thought she could save me from the darkness. Instead, she drowned in it." His voice cracked slightly at the end, almost too quiet to catch, but I heard it. For the first time, Damon Volkov sounded human. "What are you trying to tell me?" I asked. He turned to me, eyes cold again. "That you shouldn't try to save me, Amira. You won't survive it." The words should have scared me, but they only made my heart ache. Because despite everything, despite the fear, the danger, the lies, I wanted to save him anyway.
That evening, the mansion was restless. The staff moved quickly, whispering about someone visiting from Italy, an associate Damon hadn't seen in years. I was told to stay in my room, but curiosity won. I crept to the landing above the grand hall and peered down through the glass railing. Damon stood below with two men in dark coats. One of them, tall and sharp-faced, smiled too easily. "Volkov," he said, voice smooth like oil. "Long time." Damon didn't smile back. "What do you want, Marco?" "Your loyalty," Marco replied. "The way it used to be." "You'll never have that again," Damon said flatly. Marco's eyes glinted with mock sympathy. "Ah, I see. You've gone soft. Is it because of her?" His gaze flicked upward, straight at me. My breath hitched. Damon followed the look instantly and saw me standing there, our eyes locked, his full of warning. "Get back to your room, Amira," he ordered. Marco laughed. "So this is the new queen. Careful, Damon. You know what happens to the women you love." Before I could move, Damon grabbed him by the collar and slammed him against the marble pillar. "Say her name again," he growled, "and I'll rip your tongue out." Marco smiled through it, blood on his lip. "You can't outrun ghosts." Damon released him and stepped back, chest heaving. The two men left soon after, smirking as they disappeared into the night. I didn't know what frightened me more, Damon's rage or the truth in Marco's words.
Later, Damon found me in my room, standing by the window. He said quietly, "You disobeyed me." I whispered, "I needed to see. I needed to know who you really are." He took a step closer. "And did you find out?" I met his gaze. "I think you're a man trying to bury your sins in silk and power, but guilt doesn't die that easily." Something flickered in his eyes, maybe pain or pride. Then he said, "You shouldn't speak like that to me." "Why not?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Because you might hurt me like you hurt her?" The words left my lips before I could stop them. He froze, silent, unreadable. Then, suddenly he moved, not in anger, but with a speed that took my breath. His hand caught my wrist, pulling me close enough to feel his heartbeat against my chest. "Don't ever compare yourself to her," he said, voice low and fierce. You're nothing like Alina." "Then what am I to you?" I whispered. He didn't answer. He just looked at me, really looked at me, and for the first time, I saw it. Fear. Not mine. His. He released me slowly. He said, "You'll understand soon. But when you do, it'll be too late." And then he was gone.
I stood there for a long time, shaking, staring at the empty doorway. Every piece of this puzzle led to the same truth. Damon's love was a weapon, not a gift. Alina had died trying to save him, and somehow I was walking the same path, step by step. But the difference was, I wasn't going to drown quietly. If his love was my curse, then I would learn to use it, because no matter how dangerous the shadow was, I was already in his world, and this time I intended to survive it.